Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Courageous Conversations, a podcast where I, your host, Laurabel Mba, get the chance to talk to individuals that are in our world that I think are living courageously, whatever that means to them and to me. On today's episode, I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with Afolasade Bello Yama. Afolasade Bello is a passionate tech enthusiast, a community builder, a researcher, an overall vibe. She is the founder and co-founder of TechNest, a community platform dedicated to helping inspiring early career tech professionals grow in the industry. She's also currently pursuing a master's degree in sociology, where her research focuses on breaking the glass ceiling for women in tech and in leadership within Canada. I hope you're ready for this conversation. It is fun, it is funny, it is inspiring, and it's a little emotional for me at the end. So sit back, relax, and get ready to meet the one and only Sade Bello. She is a vibe. And Sade, well, I'm calling you Sade, but your proper name is Afolasade Bello. Thanks for joining the Courageous Conversations podcast. I'm so excited to have you. So I think you're pretty interesting because, like, you and I have been chatting, and like our listeners and our viewers got to hear your bio already. So I guess for me, my first question for you is, how did you get into tech?
Oh, wow. First of all, thank you so much. And I'm really excited to be here as well. How I got into tech. It's a long story because I didn't have a tech background.
Okay.
I started with sociology on my undergraduate. I had
Okay.
no background, and that was even the most interesting part of it. And then during COVID, I was bored. There was nothing. Everybody were all on TikTok doing things that I am actually ashamed of right
It's
now.
okay. We don't. TikTok was
Don't
our
judge me.
COVID TikTok era. We can't be held accountable. We were in a
Yeah,
pandemic. We thought we were dying. It's fine.
yeah. Well, true. So, and then I picked up tech because my brother has been like telling me, "Oh, do this, do this. You have the potential to be in tech." That I said I have to look
What is
to
the
be.
tech look?
I have no idea. He just said I had. He believed in me that I had the
Okay.
potential to be in tech because he is also into tech. So he
Okay.
encouraged I and my sister to also go into tech. Like, oh, this is even the right time to get into tech. COVID, and then I just picked up Python, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, it's actually so easy to learn. That was the first thing I started with, and
Okay.
then along the line, my brother was really there for me, encouraging me, and yeah, at the end of the day, I think after 3 months of learning, so I got an internship.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that well in a startup, and then while we were there, while I was working on Python.
Yeah.
So at first, I was like, Python is interesting, but I really want to see the visual aspect of things. But I wasn't so sure about what
Okay.
exactly I wanted to do. Python was nice, but
Okay.
then like later, I did my NYC. It was time for me to go for my NYC, and
And
then luckily, I was posted to a tech company,
okay.
and that really helped with my tech career. So what happened was that I started with front end development there,
Okay.
and after doing the front end development, I also did like back end. But I was like, I still want to do front end. Like front
Okay.
end is my calling. I really
Okay.
want to do front end. And at some point, it got really overwhelming for me. I won't lie. Getting into tech was so overwhelming, and I actually dropped it for like a whole year or something.
Okay.
Because I dealt with imposter syndrome, thinking that, oh, that what exactly am I doing here when my code is crashing? I even cried. I got so emotional.
That is that just shows dedication. So don't even.
And then like I kept on going, and I didn't work for a while in tech until later on. Before moving to Canada, I started with the company to work in tech. So I started from the scratch again to work as an intern, because
Okay.
I one thing about me is like I'm not scared of starting from the scratch as long
Mm-hmm.
as I know where I'm going to. That, oh, I don't care. I will still get to where I'm going to. So I
Okay.
started with that, and then I found myself here in Canada, and I'm still like in projects, working on projects in tech, and it's been really interesting and challenging. I mean, I have my scary stories of crying.
Not scary, human
I'm an
stories.
interesting story of when anytime my code works, I'm always so excited. Like I'm a superhero. I
Mm.
mean, I'm a
You
super.
are. You don't even. You are a superhero. That's
Yeah, I was pretty
okay.
much excited because it means a lot to me knowing that my code is working and doing something useful to people.
Okay, so we're going to go back a few seconds just to explain a couple things to people. So you keep saying Python, and my brain knows that that's like a programming and coding software, I think, but my brain automatically thinks she's not working with snakes. So what is Python? Let's like backtrack a second. So what is Python for our listeners and watchers who have no idea what we're talking about?
Yeah. So Python is a programming language too,
Okay,
and what it's usually used for, you can use Python for front end. Some people use it for front end. Actually, why some people use it for back end. And another thing that Python can be used for is for machine learning.
okay,
Data, it's used in data science too
okay.
to analyze data, and also what else about Python? I mean, I didn't really go deep into Python. I just
Yeah,
started like the basic level
yeah,
and I dropped it. I was like, it's taking slow for me to see the visual aspects because I was majorly doing like a back end. That's like
yeah.
more like the logic part, more of the
Okay,
logic part of it, and I dropped it early. Didn't even take
okay.
long. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for because so like people who are listening are not thinking, oh my God, she's working with snakes, but how does this have anything
Um,
to do with
yeah.
computer development? Okay. So you said you did your NYSC. So for folks who have no idea what NYSC, what is that? So they understand.
Oh, okay. So NYSC is a program in Nigeria, and when you're done with school, so you have to like work for like to serve the nation. Yeah, so it's like something compulsory for you to go through,
Mm-hmm.
and just to like it's actually promotes diversity among different people coming together, and then you are posted to different companies. So it's
Okay.
kind of like shape you
Okay.
in a form that when you go out in the society, you know how to relate with people because you are being brought with different people, and then like in complaints, doing community service because in my NYSC, we did like community service to cleaning the
Okay.
environment. We had like talks, they invite people to come and encourage us to do things to the society. So that's
Okay.
basically what NYSC is about.
All right. Well, thank you for explaining it to people because, like, if you're not Nigerian, you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
And even if you are Nigerian and you've grown up here, NYSC is not something you have to do unless you plan on going back. So some
yeah.
of our listeners and viewers might not be aware. Okay. So you did not even plan on doing tech.
Oh no.
So sociology. What was it about sociology that drew you in the first place?
Well, so one thing about sociology is like I'm really curious on how things work in the environment, how people relate with one another, and more like how people also relate with their society, their family, because it's diverse.
Okay.
Sociology is really, really diverse. It's not just one aspect because you're dealing with how you relate with your social environment, your family, which involves family, it's religion too, how you also are in your religious activities. Also, there is science parts too of it, how you relate with the natural things.
Yeah.
So I was really drawn to that because I was really curious that this is a really nice thing to do in my career. Another thing is I actually wanted to do psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do psychology, but then I couldn't do psychology because I didn't have biology,
Okay.
like a qualification, like it's a course that you're
Yeah.
supposed to do in. So I didn't have that. I didn't do that in my school. We didn't do that because that was the time where they canceled biology.
Okay.
So like it's kind of affected me. So I wanted to really go into psychology
Okay.
aspect. But then like luckily sociology and psychology work hand in hand because I took some psych course.
Okay.
So
So you
yeah,
still got to dip your foot into the psych world for a little bit.
I know, right?
Okay. That's sweet. Okay. So you started in tech because your brother said, try it. We were in the middle of a pandemic. The world was ending as far as we knew. And you're like, if it's ending, let's try
Yeah.
something new anyway, aside from our TikTok dances and everything. We'll do something new. We'll leave our tick. It happened. There's no judgment on that side. So, what was it about tech that suddenly had you bitten by the tech bug?
Well, actually, So one thing about tech was I was also curious
Okay.
on how things work. Like, oh, this website, I'm really curious about it, like how it works and all the pictures, the images, and the functionalities. Like, I really want to know more. Aside my brother giving me that encouraging thing, because my brother was like, "Oh, start this, start that." He has been telling me since. I was like,
Okay.
but then COVID was a good opportunity, yeah, for me to just take that up. So one thing that's still keeping me in tech is just the beauty of solving problems, because technology solve a lot of problem right now. And then like it's not just about the software. We provide software solutions, or knowing that it has an impact to everyone, to society. So one thing I'm doing is that I'm bringing society to technology now, because
Okay.
yeah, which is what I'm doing, sociology. So I'm bringing it. I was able to like merge it together, because I was like, I still like my sociology, and at the same time, I still like my tech. So it's just the beauty of creating things, of creating various technologies, and yeah, to feel cool.
Okay.
And I mean, growing up, I felt like tech is just when you go to the computer. I mean, or the movies we watch. That
Yep. Okay.
was not the place. I was
That
also
was
in.
not.
That
Okay.
was not the place at all.
Okay. So you're a woman in tech. You're a black woman in the tech industry. And like when people imagine the tech space, I don't think our faces are usually the faces they imagine. So I'm really
Yeah.
first really glad that your brother said you have a tech look. I don't know what the tech look is yet, but apparently he saw the future of tech and it looked like you. So what is it like for you getting to be a woman in a space that people usually think is a male dominated industry? And then what is it like for you being a black woman in an industry that people usually think is a male dominated or white or Asian industry? So how do you find it?
Well, so where I've worked before, I know that, and one thing about me, I'm always used to being in a place where it's male dominated.
Okay, so you're there anyway.
So I'm there anyway. So I'm always like used to that particular. Maybe we're doing a course, and then like, I'm the only female there, an elective course. So
Yeah.
it's like, so really for me, it's actually been kind of challenging,
Okay.
because when it comes to some certain tasks, and there is this stereotypes about women that, oh, I mean, not giving them the most difficult ones, and not knowing that, oh, we can actually do it. But then when I was in my NYC, I actually proved them wrong, because I was the only female there.
Okay.
I was the only female there, actually. And then like we all started together. I was the only female in the department, and we started together. And like all of them were. I was the first person to work on company's projects.
Okay.
I All of them were working on other project, like just a playful project. But I was the first person that was moved to another department. And then like it's just like you showcasing your ability. When you showcase your ability, you'll be recognized, even though there are some stereotypes. But you just have to like prove them wrong. Like, I am going to do this, and I will do it. So it's majorly about you showcasing
Okay.
what you have in the
Okay.
industry. So
Okay. See, that's amazing. I really love it, especially when people go into fields that society expects them not to be in, and you're like, nah, wait a minute. I'm not the one, two, or three. This is
yeah.
my field, and I'm going to show you how good I am at this, and then challenge those stereotypes. So you started with tech in Nigeria, you moved to Canada, you decided to do a master's because one degree was not enough for you.
Yeah.
Why your master's? How are you finding the program? What do you love about it? And what are some of the challenges that you're enjoying tackling?
Oh well, why my master's first? So I felt like I had an unfinished business with sociology.
Oh, okay. So there was still work to be done with that. Okay.
Yes, there was still work to be done with in sociology, because like I said, it's really broad,
Hmm.
and then like I really wanted to do a research about women in tech.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because I noticed that there are not a lot of women in tech leadership
Yeah.
as compared to men right now. So
Yeah.
I was like really curious about that. And first, I wanted to do gender pay gap.
Okay.
And yeah, gender pay gap. And then my supervisor was like, we actually brainstormed on this aspect, like to come to this. I was like, oh my God, like I've actually thought about this.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about this before, but knowing that like my supervisor was really supportive to
Yeah.
help me like streamline my thoughts into bringing a more profound topic,
Yeah.
like really interesting. So being a graduate student too as well, and studying sociology. I mean, the first year was kind of challenging, but then I
Okay.
had like supportive people around me, supportive professors in my department, and also supportive classmates, because
Okay.
like we studied together, so they actually made my life easier.
Okay.
It made my life easier. And then like even though we had like some challenges along the way, but then it's been so interesting too. I mean, meeting new people from different backgrounds just give me a sense that knowing that we also have a black community here gives me a sense of like I'm not alone in this, and I'm not the only one crying that oh my god, school is this.
It's better to cry with a friend than cry alone. Absolutely. I get that.
Exactly. But right now, I'm just focused on my research, and
Okay.
then like I'm focused on my research because we're trying to like look at the barriers women face, including the unconscious bias and organization structure and the organization culture sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just want to like highlight the real experiences of women in leadership in tech and how they contribute to meaningful conversations. Because I mean, I really do know that a lot of women, it's so hard to get to that ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to get to that ladder in engineering field, tech, many places, and there are a lot of research on it. Yeah.
See, as someone who loves challenging biases and confronting inequity, I'm so excited to know that you're in the field, especially looking at an industry that there is a lack there of representation in leadership for women, for racialized women, for
Yeah.
individuals who are marginalized in a bunch of different ways. So I'm super cool. And like you bridge that unfinished business that you had with sociology and you brought that tech that is like, maybe I do like this thing and I am enjoying it. And let's put the two together. So
Yeah.
as you're working on your research, has there been anything that like has surprised you that you found out, if you're okay sharing?
So right now, because my supervisor was on leave,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just got back. So right now, based on everything, I just my proposal is what
Yeah.
I just did. So like
Okay.
the main research, right? The only thing that I found out was the fact that um, so right now there is this, I think, a research. There was a research that I read that I don't know. It was quite surprising that
Yeah.
when women become leaders at work is when the company is facing crisis. They
Yes,
lose.
the glass cliff situation.
Yes.
Okay. So it's showing
Yes.
up in the tech industry too.
Yes, it's showing up in the tech industry. So
Okay.
I'm like, and I'm just like finding out about it. So I was really
Yeah.
shocked. I really,
Yeah, it's like the scapegoating where it's like, well, if we're already going down, we might as well just like throw someone in the
yes,
fodder. Okay.
yes, like that was really shocking. And also another thing I found out, like even women in the leadership,
Yeah.
the tech leadership, they are being shaped to in a masculine way. They are
Yeah.
always so tough at the end of the day because they expect them to be tough. And if you can't be nice, you can't be nice, you'll be taken for granted, which is unfair.
Yeah.
It's really unfair. So like yeah.
Okay,
Those
so
are the
I'm
things that was
excited.
quite shocking.
Okay,
And I
I'm
was
excited to read your research because like on like I'm not in sociology. I'm an anti-racism and diversity and equity and inclusion specialist and educator and all of that. And so when I talk about these things, I was like, this is what I see in community and in society. But it's amazing that you, as someone who studies society and a specific industry, be like, no, it's not just thoughts and feelings. There's like hard
yeah,
research about these things that are going on. So I'm excited. I can't wait to read when you're all done. I know it's a
yeah.
while, but I'm
So
sitting here ready to read your paper, being like, yay, Sade, yes, these are the things. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So, like, that wasn't enough for you. Like, you weren't busy enough getting your foot in the door with tech. Like, getting your master's degree and working on that is not enough work. You decided to become a community builder, entrepreneur style individual. And you started this thing called TechNest. What is TechNest?
Oh well, so I mean, it's quite surprising too because if you had asked me 4 months ago,
Yeah.
I didn't have this idea.
Okay.
I didn't have it planned or something. So it just came up all of a sudden. I'll give you. I think I'll just explain how TechNest came to be, the
Yes,
idea,
please tell us, how did that
everything.
come?
And then, so, because I was trying to make a commitment to LinkedIn and to start posting maybe 3 times or something.
Yeah.
So I was doing a content calendar for myself. And then I noticed that because I made a post about HTML and CSS,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed that it had a lot of engagement, and people were like, oh, they like it. And a lot of people reached out to me on LinkedIn on how, like, they need a roadmap on how to help them in tech, just something to just a structured roadmap because there are a lot of resources out there and people don't even know where to start from. Even
Mm-hmm.
me myself, when I started my tech journey, there were a lot of things and people, oh, you're so lucky you have all these things. Like we just need a
I need a
direction.
map.
Exactly. I can watch something to be confusing. I just need a map that is straightforward. So and then like it just occurred to me that I can actually come up with just do a community that I would just be sharing roadmaps. Me myself will be sharing roadmap. And then I have a friend too. I have a friend, her name is Suliat Titilokwe. She's the co-founder. And then I noticed I linked into she's always posting things like that. I noticed that she started something similar to that. And I talked to her. I was like, oh, let's start this thing together where we'll just be sharing all this informations to people in the community just to help them. And then like she was like, oh, that's really, really nice. And she bought the idea. I was like, oh, let's start it. And we're like, oh, we have 3 days to plan. Let's just put out the content. Let's put out something out there. We'll be planning ahead because the first step is to put something out there.
Yeah,
Just break that barrier of saying I want to start planning a long time because I noticed
exactly.
that I won't get things done. That works for me. That might not work for another person. So I just kept it out there. And then I saw like a lot of engagement, like, oh, people were like, oh, nice, this is so nice. People joined the community.
Yeah.
It was growing fast, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on? This is not the plan." And then something happened. Someone did the form, the Google form, because we had a lot of volunteers. Like, I really want to help. So, and then the Google form, I didn't really go through the Google form very well, and it was sent
Okay.
out. And what happened was that so the Google form was just to collect information from people, like, oh, what aspects, what exactly do they need help with?
Yeah.
So and then like the Google form had product management, cybersecurity, and I had just this was just front end development I wanted to do.
So you said you got more than you were bargaining for.
I got more. And then I just saw that a lot of people were just saying, oh, different tracks, different, we're just having like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be in product management, cybersecurity, this and that. I was like, oh no. And we can't even tell them we're not doing this anymore. And then like, and also it's like everything just planned out because that same last year, October or August, I got in as Women Tech Makers Google Ambassador. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I posted about TechNest then, and we had like a lot of people saying women actually said, oh, they really want to be mentors here. And then we had mentors that I myself, I'm not even doing any roadmap for anybody in TechNest. So we have people doing that, like helping
Yeah.
people. And I was really shocked. I was like, oh my God, this is really nice because I didn't plan this. I actually didn't plan this.
The
It was
universe worked its way out for you.
right. The only thing, my plan was that I was going to be the one to send roadmaps that will help people,
Yeah.
and then like someone, I'm just in charge of just managing the affairs of everything. So yeah, and the idea just came in the techness. I started doing restructuring at the end of the day on how we're going to
Yeah.
do the mentoring thing, the mentoring program, and all. And then I don't know. We actually did not know what we are doing. Or when we're getting feedbacks from mentors, like, "Oh, we're so organized." I was
You're like, you okay, you know what? Yeah, yes.
like,
We
we're
are
so
so
organized.
organized. Yes.
Okay, we're
Take
still.
it. Take your flowers. You are so organized.
A lot of us were like, oh my god, we're so organized the way we're doing these things. I'm like, oh really? And then ideas started coming in. Ideas started coming in, and basically, what we do at TechNest is so aside from providing the mentorship opportunities for people, so we're trying to shape individuals to not just be a career person in their workspace, but just like because we have webinars every week, every month. So we have people that come in to give them career talks and all. So we want them to leave the program having like, yes, I went through this program and I'm getting something out of it. I have my portfolio ready, not just my portfolio, all the career things like because communication is very important
Absolutely.
in at the workspace, just not just communicate how to deal with imposter syndrome. So we're actually not training, we're actually shaping people to understand what is ahead of them at the workplace and how to deal with it, but not just about tech alone.
Yeah.
So right now, oh, what do I want to say? I can't remember.
You're telling me how this thing started because you
Oh
had a
man.
different plan than where you have ended up. And
Yes.
honestly, I'm so glad that things did not go according to your plan. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic that things didn't go according to your plan because I
Yeah.
think that would have limited you and you've recreated this really big thing
Yeah.
that
And
started
then
from a
we
small
had
gap.
like 100 signups at the I was like, okay, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, what's going on here? This is actually bigger than what we expected. Cause like it was really, really nice. And I'm really grateful for the women around and because that community really helped everything. I
Yeah.
just kept it there and a lot of people were coming in to like, oh yeah. And then like these people coming in, I know that if I actually reach out to them on LinkedIn, they wouldn't have done it, but that
Yes.
actually helped. That really, really helped because we had women engineering. You know, for my project, I was like, this is a good thing because engineering managers, like people that are really, really big in tech, women, I was really
Yeah.
excited. At some point, I was like, I don't want this thing to be women alone.
You wanted to create space for everybody.
For everyone, yeah. So it's for both someone that doesn't have any idea in tech, and also it's for someone that is already in tech, but then they still need more learning,
Yeah.
and also for people that are also experts that just want to get have a portfolio, do things, have project they will work on. So
Yeah.
majorly that's what TechNest is about, and we're still growing, we're still learning. Yeah, me too. I'm also still learning a lot of things.
I don't think you're supposed to have stopped learning though. I think that's like the beauty of life. If you stop learning, then everything is really boring. Like you've done it all. You know it all. There's no point to it. But like there's some key points of you talking about this that have me being like, yes, Sade, yes. As to like this started for you because you saw a little gap and you're like, I was confused and I needed someone to give me a roadmap. And
Yeah,
then you didn't have it all together, and a lot of people are scared. You're like, I need my 18-month plan, I need to know everything that's going to happen at every point in time before I even start. And you're like, no, I'm going to start now, because if I don't start now with my co-founder, I will never start, and because I don't know when I'll have it all together. And
yeah,
I think that the fact that you were so honest to say we didn't have it all, we didn't have, and what we thought we had is not what we've become. And that when people are like, oh, you have it all together, you're like, shush, we are doing what we can with what we know, and we're just trying to keep up with it.
yeah.
So now comes the big part for us in this conversation about dreaming. So this wasn't even where you dreamt you would be, but you're here now. You've created this community that has mentors and mentees and roadmaps, and people are learning about front end and back end and like the different aspects of tech that they can get into.
Yeah.
So 5 years down, you finished your master's. You've
Mm-hmm.
explained to people where women in leadership and tech leadership are being, what the barriers are for them, and the fact, and you've called people to task. What are you dreaming for TechNest? What are you dreaming for you? because the two don't have to be the same. So, Shade, what are you going to be doing in 5 years when we do our courageous conversations catch up? Where are they now? Where are you now?
Okay. Where should I start from? Me or TechNest?
Where do you want to start from? Which is
TechNest is my child actually,
okay.
and I always
So
tell, ever since I
yes,
gave birth to TechNest, my life has not been the same.
as a mother, I can tell you the minute
Yeah.
you give birth to anything, the world goes on its own.
Yeah.
So where do you see
So
yourself?
okay. So I'll start with my baby first, which is
Okay.
TechNest. So for TechNest, I see TechNest imparting, like we should have impacted like 10,000 people
Okay.
or more, ten
That
thousand people or
that
more.
is reachable.
Yeah, that is reachable. And not just that, in terms of like providing what's it called? Jobs for people,
Okay.
imparting those as well, like helping people get jobs too is one of the things that we would work on at the long term.
Yeah.
So it's like impacting them in terms of that aspect and also helping people in tech, which is also has to do with impacting. So helping people, like majorly a lot of people transition into tech, and not just tech, but then shaping them to into being a better individual for themselves, knowing that they went through this program and they are coming out as a refreshed individual. So
Yeah.
that's like the major impact. And also in terms of financial wise, which is very important.
We need money to make the world go round. So yes.
Exactly. Exactly. That's like having a different community, not just here in Newfoundland,
Yeah.
also in Nigeria, all over the world. Just
Okay.
having a community and then like having more like Google.
Yeah. Tell your competition you're coming. It's fine.
Oh yes, yes.
We're coming for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So having like that development group, like more like Google developers, and more having like we call our mentees nest techies. So
That's
yeah,
so cute.
nest techies. I know, right? So we call them nest techies, and then just having more aside that, so having office space in each locations that we have, and just impacting everyone all around the world. So we're not just limited to Canada alone,
Yeah.
Nigeria, UK.
Yeah.
Australia, Ghana, everywhere, all
The
parts in
world.
Africa, all everywhere in the world. So that's where I see TechNest community. And I still have more, but I just can't think about it right now.
We
Yeah.
can't dream too big yet. We need to like because your dream is big enough that it's enough to scare you to want to do the things.
Yes, yes. So once
So
time. Yeah.
so then where will
Um
you be?
yeah, for me in 5 years, I see myself still being the founder of
You're
TechNest,
not
which
going
is very
anywhere.
important. And then my what's it called, my project, finishing my project and
Mhm.
achieving the result I also want to achieve, and also in my tech field in my career,
Yeah.
being an engineering manager.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
girl.
being an engineering manager. And then like, because aside TechNet, I have another NGO because I'm really really particular about community building.
Because
I'm really,
you don't
and so
do
what I
enough. Because Shade,
yeah.
you don't do enough. So what's this NGO that you are also?
Yeah.
So tell us
So
about it.
this is in Nigeria. So it's
Mm,
about so it's called the Advanced Pathway.
yeah.
So before it was formerly called Recycle to School. It's more
Yeah.
like the environment and in helping children in schools.
Yeah.
So what we do is we actually make education much more easier and affordable for students
Okay.
while also teaching them the essence of recycling. And
Okay.
we also have like some community outreach where we go to the environment and clean up the society. So what we do as well is we also sponsor students. Right now we have a program that is running where we that's in their primary level throughout. We have scholarships for
Okay.
students that are people that are struggling and also people that are really exceptional. So right now we're currently sponsoring like 30 in Nigeria
Okay.
because like we are going to come big. So yeah, we also have like
I expect nothing
yeah,
less.
yeah, we have our Christmas outreach where we just go to a location and then like just make children happy and we
Yeah.
talk about cleaning the environment. We also have Children's Day. We give them bags and just this is also like it's really particular to children and cleaning the environment.
Yeah.
So
Well, I found y'all on Instagram, so I have given a follow. So we are going to be sharing what the advanced pathway is doing. But I'm really glad that I invited you to be on this podcast because honestly,
Yeah.
you are I think you're cool. Like there's no if ands about it. I think you're cool. I think you're inspirational. I think you're courageous because it is scary to think that you're going to do one thing and then we watched the global pandemic and some people found their next passion and it takes a lot of courage to step into a different dream than what you thought you were doing. And then within all that, you decided to move countries. You came to a place that you didn't know where you would be, but you stepped into a whole new world. You were willing to start from the bottom and work your way up. And then you didn't decide to just do it for yourself. You're like, if I'm doing this anyway, there are probably a bunch of other people who are trying to navigate their own way. I'm going to help create a community that helps people get to where they want to be and do things that they didn't think was possible and figure all that out already while running an NGO in your home country, and that is focused on connecting youth to environmentalism, but also keeping them educated and enrolled in education. You're courageous. You're doing a lot. You're out here, pardon my French, but you're being a badass and like, hair flip,
Oh.
hair flip, hair flip. And I'm here for all of it because it's inspiring, because it's scary and but you do it anyway because you see it being worth doing. And you're such a person who's so connected to her community in the grand sense of what community is. It's not just Nigeria, it's not just women, but it's the global sense of community. And you want to help people find equity in whatever they're doing. So I'm in awe, Sade. I'm in awe. I bow down to you, Queen.
Oh.
It's like I have to. So I told you that I gave you a little recap of the questions we'd asked you. And then I said I was going to give you a big surprise one in the end. So here is part one of our surprise question, okay? So for our listeners and our viewers who are watching this who are like, I don't know how to be courageous. I have a plan, but my plan isn't sitting right for me. And I want to step into my next big dream, my next big adventure. How are you going to tell them to be courageous?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me start. So first of all, I know we are all scared, and it's okay to be scared. We're being human, yeah, and there are a lot of things going on in the society right now. I know that a lot of people out there are actually scared of taking the first step. But to be courageous, one thing we should know is don't be afraid to fail. That's my mantra. Never be afraid to fail, because at the end of the day you might be scared of putting something out there, but you're not doing it for someone else, you're doing it for you. You're doing it to make an impact for you, and you should always focus on you and never ever be scared of failure, because I am not scared of failure. If TechNest should fail, I will do another one.
And there is proof.
I will do another one, or not even another one, but then like I will sit back, learn from the failure. Actually, I will learn from it and see how I can improve. We'll do a rebranding or something. So it's never be scared of failing in this life. It's okay to fail. Don't see failure as the end of everything. Take it as a success, because it's a learning process for you to achieve wherever you're going to. A lot of people have failed and it's nothing, because you know that you will do better, you will learn from it. And it's okay to fail multiple times, and don't see yourself as a failure, because I feel like people get so scared of failing, it affects them in terms of making the bold step. And that's just one thing people need to work on.
Yeah.
Just forget failure. See it that if you fail, say, oh, thank you, I failed, I'm going to learn from this. Yeah, so basically that's it. And I know that sometimes it's really overwhelming to stay consistent. It's because consistency too has to do with one thing, for you to put yourself out there. But the thing is, just as TechNet started, we kept something out there. Not that we know that we don't want to, just we know that oh, this is we're posting something on the social world right now, and we know like a lot of people might come for us, oh, you guys failed, you did this, but we're not scared. We still went on to do it. Yeah. So,
Okay. So that was part one of my scary question for you, and my big question.
oh, okay.
And then my next question is to ask you to send a message back in time to younger Sade. If you could tell her anything about what it's like to be where you are now, or anything to keep her motivated to continue to doing what she's doing now, what would you tell her?
Okay. So to the younger Shadi, I would tell the younger Shadi to take that bold step. Because when I was young, I was not outspoken. Yeah, I was I was shy. I was shy a lot. And then, like, I was scared of what people would think about me. And I had a really low self esteem. And then, what I would tell the young Shade is, you are beautiful. You're
Absolutely.
beautiful. You're perfect. And at the end of the day, you are doing whatever you're doing for yourself. And don't be scared to put your voice out there. Don't be scared, because I was so scared of so many things. I was really scared about making a decision. I was so dependent on other people. And what else? What else? What else? Yeah, be a sweet girl and don't eat too much sweets to spoil your teeth.
I like the one piece of like hard practical advice. Don't eat too much candy, girlie. Love you, but like let's chill it on the sweets.
Yes, don't eat too much sweets. Yeah, and also what else? What else? Let me look for another funny thing that I did when I was young. Yeah, don't drown yourself. You know you cannot swim.
Oh, okay, Sade, you need to. Okay, pause. What did young Sade do that she had almost drowned?
Oh god, I think it was, I don't know, but I knew that I almost drowned. I can't remember the scenario. It was when I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, but that keeps playing in my head that I almost drowned or something. So I really don't know, but it keeps playing in my head. You know when you had the feeling that this
Yeah.
happened, to you, but you can't remember what the
Yeah.
situation. So that's it. But I know that I can't swim, so that's right. And also learn how to swim first. You should know how to swim.
Are you so grown up, Sade? Have you learned to swim? So okay, I think we're gonna add this to our 5 year plan. So when we do our like, where are they now? We'll do it from poolside, and you can do a
Yeah.
couple laps and show us that you've mastered
Yes.
that skill.
Yes.
Just like
I should learn how to swim.
okay, we'll add it to
Yeah.
there. Shade, I want to thank you for coming on this podcast, for being so open and vulnerable and funny and courageous. And you're a vibe. You are a great time to be around, but you're also so inspiring, so driven, and so hardworking because none of this stuff came by chance. You have put in the time and the work and the effort to build these things, and you've built a community of people who support and are on this journey with you. So I want to thank you for one, being in my LinkedIn world, for being willing to come into this space, and for working so hard to create spaces for other people to show up authentically and to empower them to be the best versions of themselves, and for holding society accountable for where they are putting up barriers and marginalizing people and combining that with ways that empower people. So thank you for being courageous. Thank you for having a conversation. And now
Thank
we have
you.
to do a where are they next in 5 years. So like calendar, you got to mark it in your calendar 5 years from now. So February 26th, 2030. In
Yeah.
2030, we'll do a loop back and
Oh
we'll see where we
yes.
are.
Oh yes, definitely.
But thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Well, one more thing is
Absolutely.
you also really inspire me a lot. Yes,
Shade,
I keep
don't I
telling
like
people. Oh
Shade,
yeah, yeah.
that's the pressure.
You are actually one of the people that inspired me to start TechNest, because
Shade.
I see what you do on LinkedIn. Yeah, I see what you do on LinkedIn. I see what you're doing for the society. I'm like, nah, you're really inspiring me, because TechNest, one of the reasons why I started TechNest and one of the people that gave me the push was you, through your posts, through being in the society involved. I'm always seeing you everywhere.
Oh, Shadi, you're trying to make me cry on my own podcast. This is not the vibe, friend.
I'm serious. You really do inspire me, and just keep doing what you're doing. It really means a lot to me. I am your number one fan, and I was really so happy because I've been screaming, "Oh, you invited me to this podcast. You
Yes, of
invited
course I
me."
invited you to this
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm your number one fan, and yeah, you're
Oh,
doing a great job.
okay, so now I'm going to go cry. But Shadi, thank you. You have been a highlight on Wednesday morning where it is gray, but you have definitely added some sunshine to my day. And I'm sure that when people check out this podcast and they listen to it, you're definitely going to brighten theirs up too. So thank you. And I might have to go into tech now to be part of TechNest. And
All
here it
right.
was like, I loved tech and then I fell out of it, but now I have to go back. So thanks, Shade.
I
And
don't know.
so
But probably when we have like another webinar, it's not going to be about tech. I
I'll
know.
come. I'll come either way. I'm here. I'm just, if
And then
nothing else,
our
I'll come and attend.
in-person events too.
You see
Yeah,
me. I will
we'll
be there.
discuss it.
We'll
So
work it out. We got a game plan.
yeah.
All right.
All
Thank you
right. Thank
so
you so much.
much. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.